Hi guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. In this video, I wanted to cover my brush cleaning routine, and this is for when I deep clean my brushes. If I'm just doing something quick here, like in my makeup area, and I know there's a brush I want to immediately use after I've done something else, and I just need a really quick, quick drying, just light clean on the brush. I have this e.l.f. Daily Brush Cleaner, and you can just spray that onto like a Kleenex or a paper towel is even better, and just rub your brush back and forth, and it's just a great quick clean on a brush. But I do think it's important to periodically deep clean your brushes, like maybe at least once every couple of weeks. The products I'm going to tell you about in this video definitely do, I think, speed up the whole process of brush cleaning. It's not something all of us are always looking forward to doing. You know, for me, I'm like, gotta clean my brushes. It doesn't seem like the funnest makeup related task, but there are little tools and tricks that can make it simpler and I think a lot faster. Now, I'm pretty sure the last video I did on brush cleaning was when I was talking about my Sigma glove, and I love that thing. I legitimately love that thing. I took some heat in that video because at the same time other people were saying, oh, it's a gimmick, it's not worth it, blah, blah, blah. Well, I use that glove religiously to clean my brushes like for this whole span of time between that video years back and now. I just loved all of the different like cleaning surfaces on that thing. I felt like it took the method I was using before, which was just kind of scrubbing them in the palm of my hand, and it just made things more efficient, more effective in terms of getting them really, really clean, and I just love that. And I really think that particular product, love it, hate it, see it as a gimmick, whatever you want to say, I think it prompted people to either look to alternative methods, and it prompted other brands to kind of step up their game and come up with a lot of different ways to help us clean our brushes. So I do think it was kind of a game changer in the whole brush cleaning world. So I have done a little experimenting over the past few months. Sigma has different brush cleaning things that they've come out with, different formats, like a little mat that sits in the bottom of your sink. Real Techniques has come out with like a neat little brush cleaning thing that I really liked. One thing that I find to be a bit of a problem with certain little brush cleaning, rubber, silicone type tools is that residue from the brush will develop on whatever you're using to clean the brushes, and that can be kind of hard to remove. So the little thing I've got, for whatever reason, part of it might be the soap I'm using, part of it might just be the surface of this product, but I don't have any weird residue developing on this. But this is $1. This is a super cheap little tool that I have just loved for cleaning my brushes lately, and it's from AOA Studio. This is a brand that I found on shopmissa.com. So that's that website where everything's $1. I will link to it below, and if I can find this anywhere else being sold online, I'll link to it there also. But basically, this is a little brush cleaning egg, I think is what they called it. And it's open in the bottom, so you can put a couple of fingers in there and you can clean your brushes right on here very easily. And you've got this kind of ridge type surface, and then this part here that looks like itty bitty dots. Honestly, it kind of looks like the bottom of an athletic shoe or something like that. And I find it so quick and handy for cleaning my brushes, and there are a couple of reasons why. It incorporates different textures, which I think is really good for kind of agitating the product out of your brush, but also I think the biggest factor that makes me like this so much is the thumb freedom, okay? Because when you're rubbing back and forth and your whole hand is in, say, a brush cleaning glove, you do have a little flexibility, but your thumb is enclosed in something, and there's something about the control you have when I am totally rinsing out a brush on here, and I can use my thumb to kind of press it against those ridges and really, you know, make sure the water is running clean and every bit of suds and residue is rinsing from the brush. Using my thumb in that process really makes things happen really fast, and you feel like you've got just so much control. And this is made of silicone and, you know, very travel friendly also. But what I use hand in hand with this, and I mentioned this in my last favorites video, is the Benjabelle Organic Brush Shampoo. So here you're getting 8 fluid ounces, and I think this works so well to effectively get the brushes super clean, and it does so really quickly. So I'm talking even my really dense foundation type brushes like a Sigma F80 or an F84 or whatever, you know, style you have of this kind of brush. I had almost gotten accustomed to those brushes looking just, you know, a little bit beigey even after I got them totally clean. I was using them with long wearing foundations. That stuff is really hard to, you know, fully get clean from the bristles. And I thought maybe I'd just stain the bristles over time. But I find when I use the Benjabelle cleanser, I am able to get these bristles looking just like they were when they were new. And that's almost like a grayish tinge, especially when they're wet. You can just tell when every bit of product is out. And this totally just opened my eyes to a new level of cleanliness for the brushes. So I want to walk you through exactly how I do this. If it's a really dense brush, I will get like a full pump of this gel. Then I get my brush hairs totally wet, and that's what allows, you know, that soap to really suds up and go a little bit further for you. And I will pretty much take up that entire surface area of the egg, scrubbing that brush clean. If it's a situation where it's one of those brushes that I've used for foundation, I may need to repeat that process one time with one more pump of the gel. But I swear after I'm done with that, I end up with a really, really clean result. I like to use my thumb to really press those bristles up against the lines or the grooves on this egg, and I can see any excess running from the brush. If it's running clean and clear, I know, okay, I'm pretty much done rinsing this thing. You're also wringing out some excess water in that way. Take a towel or a paper towel, squeeze over your brush, and then I like to hang mine in my Benjabelle brush tree, which I use the sunflower style, which has all sorts of different sizes. I like to do this kind of brush cleaning, you know, in an afternoon, and then by the next morning, everything will be ready to use. Not that they couldn't potentially be dried sooner than that, but this is just the way I like to go about it. Now here's where I really feel like I'm saving on this brush gel, is with the brushes that I use exclusively for powder products. Maybe it's a powder brush, a blush brush, a contour brush, or any smaller sized brush that I might use for eye products. I feel like I can get away with using only a quarter pump. So I'm not even taking the pump halfway down, and that amount seems to get my brushes totally clean. So if it's a smaller brush, here's a great little tip. Put some of your soap right in the end of the egg. Get your brush hairs damp, pick up a little bit of that soap, and then mainly use the grooves to go back and forth to get that brush clean. And then when you rinse, you can actually confine that stream of water to just the grooves. And if you've got any leftover soap on that one side, you can use that for your next brush or add a little bit more soap, whatever you need to do. But that's something that really can work for your smaller size brushes. For your bigger, dense, fluffier brushes, that's a little bit harder to do because this isn't a huge egg to begin with, and you might need that surface area. So again, when I'm done with my brushes, I hang them up to dry, and you might be wondering, well, what's the point of that? Can't I just lay them flat? But the theory is that this method is going to preserve your brushes longer because there's no water sitting in this ferrule area where your bristles are hooking into your brush. As water gets in there and sits there, it can loosen the glue and you can start losing brush hairs. But if you're hanging vertically, water is being pulled this direction from the brush. It's less likely to settle back into the ferrule. And I find that the brushes do overall dry more quickly because they're open to the air on all sides instead of sitting just flat on one side. But that would be my brush cleaning preference right now. The way I feel like my brushes get the cleanest and they do it the fastest. So thank you guys so much for watching and requesting this video, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Oh, did you find a brush? I'm talking about cleaning brushes in this video. Oh, good jawline contour there. Is it soft?
Oh yeah, Mommy.
Oh, I love you. Thank you for the hugs and love. Can you say, hi everybody?
Thanks, everybody.
What's this thing?
What's
Does
that?
it look like a nose? Or an eye patch? Or like a big tongue? Don't eat the brush!